Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know it's been a long time since my last video. I've been super busy, so YouTube hasn't been in the forefront of my mind. I wanted to make a quick video today to bring that up, and to also bring up we're gonna be moving pretty much all of our Let's Plays over to Rumble. We've been having problems, we'll just say, with YouTube and whatnot, so we're gonna keep a few of them here, but for the most part, Let's Plays are gonna be moved over to Rumble. So if you want to see that, I'll post a link in the description below if you're interested in watching us talk and scream and curse and discuss various topics while playing games. That's going to be over on Rumble. I will be making another short video probably today, and then I'm working on a Dark Souls video, which is going to be longer. I don't know when that one's going to be up yet. I don't have an ETA. I haven't even started working on it. It's just in my mind at this point. But anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to say. I hope you enjoy the video. Before there were popular Elder Scrolls games, before there was Dark Souls, there was a series that is damn good. A series that, in my opinion, is better than the Dark Souls series, the Bloodborne games, Sekiro, all of that. There was King's Field. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about the King's Field series, how I think the games are pretty damn good, and what in the world happened to King's Field 3, because it does not exist. Let's get started. Now, once upon a time, there was a company called From Software, and these guys made a game series that was first person, retro as hell, and RPG. And this is what we got. King's Field. Now, this is the first King's Field you're seeing right here. Originally, this was only in Japan. But thanks to a sexy hunk of man ass by the name of John Osborne, we get to enjoy King's Field in English, because he took it upon himself to actually translate the whole game to English. And I believe after that happened, From Software saw that they had kind of a big audience for this game. So I believe you can get a copy of King's Field on the PS1 in English. I believe. Could be wrong. For what King's Field is, it is the pioneer of first-person RPGs. You could say King's Field walked so that Elder Scrolls, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim could run. Okay, I still think King's Field games are pretty damn good. You know, it's clunky. You got your one. You just got that one melee attack. You know, you get spells. In the later game, Eternal Ring, you get rings which have spells inside them, and some of the spells are pretty badass, actually. So there's that. But, you know, you got your skeletons, your mythical creatures, all this stuff. You're trying to figure out where to go. If I remember correctly, the first game, you're stuck on an island, and you're making your way through the island for something. I don't remember exactly. I haven't beat the first one. The reason why is because it's a very long game, and it's a game where I think the way I can best describe it so people get it is that in Dark Souls, the whole motto, the meme, whatever you want to call it, is you are going to die. In King's Field, you are going to get lost. And I mean lost. Okay, we're talking invisible walls. You didn't know they were there. You can see from looking at this, all the walls are kind of like pixelated in this square thing. So yeah, trying to find invisible walls with no walkthrough, mind you, the first time you're playing this, if you're trying to find invisible walls, because you have to go through these walls to figure out where to go. You have to pick up, small objects that you would sometimes barely see on the ground, which are necessary to progress the game. So you have to kind of search all around the ground, look for small objects. See, there you go, invisible wall, to progress the game. Meanwhile, you have to talk to seemingly random NPCs, but some of them do progress the story. It's a game that it's gonna take you a while to beat it without using a walkthrough. Even with using a walkthrough, it took me months to get to the point where I was. The only reason I haven't beaten the game is because my save got corrupted, and I was super pissed, and I didn't want to do all that again. The King's Field series actually went on to have a very successful run. This is King's Field 2 right here, the gameplay you're seeing, which is also on the PlayStation 1. They then progressed to King's Field 4, Ancient City, which is on PlayStation 2. And then they had a branch off, which was Eternal Ring, which we've actually done a playthrough of on this channel if you're interested. And they also had the Shadow Tower series. There's only 2 games in that series. The first Shadow Tower being on the PlayStation and the other one being on the PlayStation 2. Talk about fucking cryptic. Those games. I couldn't even get past the first area without having to look up what the hell to do. And then there's even Kingsfield on the PSP, and there's something known as Moonlit Sword, which I'm not sure if it's a fan-made mod or what, but there's also that. So there's kind of a lot going on in this series, and yet it's still this really unknown thing. It didn't take off nearly as well as the Dark Souls series did, obviously. But the games are good. The games are solid. Now, I know what you're thinking, or I think I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what about Kingsfield 3? You went 1, 2, and 4. So let me see if I can explain this for you guys. So originally, Kingsfield was only released in Japan, right? Okay. Then we got that translation, which did really well. Now, around the time that translation was being done, they also released Kingsfield 2. Okay. So then, when America finally got their first Kingsfield game, 2 was already out. Right? You following with me so far? Now, Kingsfield 1 obviously did well in the US. Hence, they got Kingsfield 2 in the US. But instead of calling it Kingsfield 2, they dubbed it Kingsfield 3. Right? So, technically, this is how From Software labeled their games. You got Kingsfield 1, which is only in Japan exclusive, okay? Then you got Kingsfield 2, which is the same game, but now in English, okay? And then you get Kingsfield 3 over here, which is in both America and Japan. And then you got Kingsfield 2, Japanese exclusive, somewhere in there. Oh, and I also almost forgot to mention, Kingsfield games, and kind of From Software in general, but I'm specifically talking about Kingsfield here, they have great soundtracks. Like, most of the background music I use on my videos comes from the Kingsfield series, Shadow Tower, Eternal Ring, all that stuff. You know, it's got that great fantasy vibe, sometimes that great horror vibe. So yeah, if you're interested in that, definitely give the soundtracks a listen. Now, if you're looking to play some of these games, I hope you got some spare cash, because they're kind of hard to find these days if you want a physical copy of them. This is gameplay from Kingsfield 4. Figured I'd show the most recent one. Just show the updated graphics and all that. Anyways, yeah, this one, around last I looked, which was a while ago, this one was like 120, 200 bucks on eBay, if you can find one. So, you know, if you want a copy of it, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. Would I say it's worth that money? Maybe not that much. I mean, like, you could get the same experience from watching a no commentary gameplay of the Kingsfield games if you really, you know, want to see them. Like, they're good games. I just don't think they're worth that amount of money. You know, like, you'd probably have a lot more fun spending $60 or $70 on a brand new game and playing that than you would, you know, X amount of money on this and playing this. Just because these games they're very loose in story. They have solid gameplay elements. They have a solid combat system. They have quite a harsh difficulty too, might I add. And that's not just because you're wondering where the fuck do I go the entire time you're playing it. But, you know, they're lacking in story. The story is kind of, you find an NPC, he talks to you, you progress, you find another NPC, same thing, talk, progress, rinse and repeat. You kind of get to piece the story together as you go. And you're given a little, you know, why you're here at the beginning of the game. You know, when the games first start out, is, oh, you're here to do this because of this. And so, you know, that's all you're going off of. And then eventually you get to the end of the game and, you know, you got your ending cutscenes and all that stuff. So you could say the story's left open-ended. You just kind of have to piece it together as you go. It's nowhere near as confusing and research requiring as the Dark Souls series, but it is weak on the story. I really don't have too much more to say on these games. This one is Eternal Ring, which I consider Eternal Ring and Shadow Tower to be Kingsfield games because they're very similar, and same people made them, and da 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 da. Anyways, I don't have too much more to say about this. I do think these are solid games. I do think these are worth a play if you haven't done so already. I really wanted to make this video before I made another one because I'm working on a Dark Souls video right now. I guess it's a Soulsborne video, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna discuss all the games. But I wanted to touch bases with this one first because this one did come way before Dark Souls, and I'm going to reference back to this a lot. But anyways, guys, that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed, you can hit the thumbs up. If you have a comment, there's this place down below. It's called the comment section. You can put it down there. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.